Welcome and thanks for watching. I'm Gregory Wade. In this episode, we're going to talk about the importance of establishing strategic partnerships across the kilometers. Yes, the kilometers. Now, traditionally, in the domestic environment, establishing a strategic partnership across the miles was slightly easier because you were generally bringing together, companies or organizations, people who had complementary skills, had genuine interest in partnership because they recognized that the sum of the parts was greater than the individual piece parts. They also recognized that coming together would help them serve a common purpose, an objective. Maybe it was opening up a new market. Maybe it was addressing new segments within the space. Maybe it was introducing a new and innovative product that took together or brought together the technologies of those partnerships as a whole. But how do you do this and successfully on the international scale or international basis? Well, what I've found in my 30 years of experience is just how important it is to establish a win-win scenario. So often than not, things kind of get confused, sort of lost in translation if you aren't talking about win-win scenarios. So recognizing and listening first to your prospective partner around what their objectives are. What is it that they want to accomplish as part of this partnership? And then you can reciprocate. You can share with them what you want to be able to establish as part of the partnership, and whether it's a new market segment, whether it's a new geography that you're going after, maybe it's a new product or service that you want to introduce into a new, exciting space. Doesn't matter. Establishing and understanding the other partner's interests is super critical to you then being able to reciprocate and provide them with your input and what you want to be able to accomplish. That ultimately helps you get to a win-win scenario. Now, if you're able to set out that win-win scenario, what it looks like at the outset, then the negotiations and the discussions are a heck of a lot easier. Why? Well, again, because you now have a common set of purpose and objectives. And in recognizing that and knowing that, it's so important then to be able to sort of lay out the steps that are necessary in order for you to be successful in that negotiation, that discussion around what an agreement, what a partnership might look like. And so it's also important when you're dealing across the kilometers to check your ego at the door. Recognize as well, and I often use this term, what works in Delhi doesn't necessarily work in Denver and vice versa. So recognize that you can't just bring your domestic experience into the international sphere and expect and anticipate people to react and to respond in much the same way. These are very different environments. So recognizing that you're also dealing in a very different environment, respecting that different environment will also take you a long way. The third most critical aspect as well to establishing that strategic partnership on an international scale that is enduring also relates to the support and the emphasis and the guidance that's provided by the executive and the leadership team. Let's face it, if you're in negotiations or if you're face-to-face in a deal situation or deal opportunity and you don't have the executive support and guidance and you aren't in alignment, it's not going to happen. And if it does, it's not going to happen with speed and efficiency and with the emphasis that you desire. So having that support, including it actually from the board, is also really important to get down to a point where you know that you have the executive team's support in establishing these partnerships. That's also really important. And the fourth most critical component as well is knowing what you want to be when the partnership's established. So writing something on paper is one thing, but recognizing what it looks like in market is also super critical. So if you don't have the wherewithal and the skills and the people within the organization to focus in on what happens once you go to implementation and then ultimately go live, then you're also in a very precarious situation. So that means ensuring that you have great talent on the organization. That means that you also have a cross-section of skills and capabilities that are able and capable of ensuring that you can take what's written on a piece of paper, which is established as a partnership, and putting it into practice. If you go with these 4 steps, I can guarantee that your strategic partnership on an international scale is going to be super successful. So I hope you've enjoyed this video and these insights I've been able to garner this over the past 30 years. I can tell you it's been a super exciting space. And for full disclosure, as many of you know, I'm an executive at Trustonic. I'm focused in on strategic partnerships on a global scale, and I really like the direction that we're taking as a company. And I think that you're also going to recognize and see in us an open and very much an interest in collaboration to ensuring that there's mutual success on a go-forward basis. This area of cybersecurity is so important to the future of so many of our organizations and to our society as a whole that it's very important that when partnerships do come together, that they are collaborative, they're focused on the future, they drive innovation, and they drive confidence within our customers and ultimately within our prospects and the ecosystem as a whole. Once again, I'm Gregory Wade. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and share below. I'd love to hear from you and get your comments as well.